Hello and welcome to my June wrap up. June I read 5 books. I was in a mini slump. Usually I would have read a lot more than that, but I was in a mini slump, so that is why there is only 5. Please ignore the fact that I'm in the exact same clothes as a haul video, and in the future, July's TBR, I'm filming them all on the same day because I actually have motivation to film. So after like months of not having any motivation, so let's ignore that fact. We're just going to move and we're going to get to, I have 3 physical books in front of me. One of them I did read physically, but I gave it to Danny, and the other one I read on my Kindle. So let's just get going. These books are very coordinated, kind of vibe for it. The first book I read was King of Pride by Huang. I read that this month. I fell in love with this book to the point where I've cracked the spine. When I crack a spine in a book, you know, I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? Because I don't care about the book, like the spine. This book is about Kai and Isabel, and I fell in love with this book. Was it my favourite out of the series? No. I think Read is actually going to be one of my favourites. I thought this was going to be 5 stars. It wasn't. I think I gave this 4 stars, but it was still incredible. And I love Anna Huang's writing style, and I know she's just had another of her series published that my friend Kaya is like, you need to read this. So as soon as I've read the majority of my books, I will be buying that series, or it comes into my local Waterstones, but I'm absolutely in love with this book. Then the next one I read is the Lockwood Co. This one is about, is 9 to 12 apparently, but apparently gets darker as the series goes, so I don't know where you would fit in that. But this book is about these kids who basically go and capture ghosts, and it's just like the TV series, and it's really good, and it's absolutely amazing, and I love this series. I love the TV show, which is why I read it. The book series, took me quite a while to read them, to say they were 9 to 12. It took me about a week for each one, and I read like 2 of them this month, but I did really enjoy it. It's just long chapters, but if you are looking for something easy, fun, got ghosts involved, just want to get like an easy read, this is one, because even though it took me a while, I wasn't thinking, I was literally like da. But I knew what was happening because I've watched the series, so I think the next 3 in the series, I'm gonna be more like, oh my god, what's happening, because I've not read them. I've not like watched the series. I read this, and then I read The Whispering Skull, which is the second one to the series, aka part 2 of the season. And it, again, brilliant, easy reading, read it really well, read it on the way down to London, and then finished it off when I was in London. And it's just been quite a hectic like month in June, so I just felt like I wasn't able to read as much as I wanted to, because I was socialising quite a lot and going out drinking quite a lot, so that's what happened in June for me. But I did really enjoy this book and fell in love with it and the characters, and it does get darker as the books go on, like I said. So yeah. And then I read To Hate Adam Connor by Ella Maise. I read this in a day. I was about 100 pages in already, because on an audiobook I was listening to it when I was tired in my room, and got around about 100 pages in on the audiobook. Got rid of Scribed because I couldn't afford it anymore. It was way too expensive at £10.99 a month. Like I couldn't afford it with my Kindle Unlimited as well. Like it was just not happening. So I decided just to buy the book, because I was like, I need to read this. I need to read it for the next book, for the Hardest Fall. I've already owned that, so I might as well buy it and read it. And I fell in love with this book. I read this in one day. I literally sat there at Danny's house like, I'm really sorry, but you're on your phone, you're chilling, you're recharging. I'm going to recharge myself and just read, because we just needed that recharge day. We'd been spending a lot of time together, and it was just, the recharge day was just needed. So I read this book and literally just devoured it. I love this book. I preferred to love Jason Thorne to hate Adam Connor, but the two were like paired together perfectly, and that's what I loved. It was like one after another, just perfectly paired together, and I can't wait for the other ones in the series. Very excited to read the next ones. Then I read Sweetest Regret, and I actually was asked to do an art copy of this. I can't remember if I received my art copy or not. I don't think I did, because I sent the wrong email to him, because I'm a spoon. But it was on Kindle Unlimited. Thought, gonna download it, I'm gonna read it. I want a bit of secret kid because there was a kid in it that the main guy didn't know about. That was his. Rock star, romance, bit of trauma. Just what I wanted. Devoured this book. I literally devoured it. I started it on Friday, finished it that weekend when I got home on the Sunday. I just devoured it. It was so good. It was a short little read. I think it was like a 5-hour read altogether. It wasn't very long at all, but I devoured it. And it was beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot to give you ratings this month. Like, with me being in a slump for the past, like, end of May going into June, I was in a slump. I've not really been rating books or able to, because my brain is just like, you really enjoyed that, you didn't enjoy that. This was okay, you know what I mean? Like, my brain's just not like, oh my god, whatever this is, da-da-da. So I've not been able to rate books, unfortunately. But yeah, they're all the books that I read in the month of June, and I just fell in love with each and every one of them in my own way, because I think YA books, and especially like children's books, they're always just going to be a 3-star. They're not going to be anything special most of the time for me, but I do always really, really enjoy them. So yeah, now we're on to the books that I'm going to be reading in July. Well, hopefully it's going to be my July hopefuls, so I'm going to share with you the books. We're ready. I'm actually reading this currently, and I'm reading Credence by Penelope Douglas. I read some today whilst I was travelling down to Cheshire Oaks, so I'll just get up to where I'm up to in the book. On my Kindle up, chapter felt a lot longer than it was. So I'm up to chapter 12 of it. I'm quite the bit way through it. I read 150 pages yesterday. I just sat and just read. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Penelope Douglas is just one of them authors. I was like, I'm in a slump, I don't know what to read, I'll pick up a Penelope Douglas book, and this is just the one that I fancied. It was kind of short out of her books. I've got quite a few left to read, but I just fancied this one because I knew what was going to happen, like semi, but at the same time I was like, this is just what I need. So I'm in the middle of reading this, I'm very much enjoying it. Then I got out from the library a little graphic novel, and this is The Sad Ghost Club. I just wanted to pick it up. It is a teen book. I will literally just photos, so I'll finish this in about an hour. I'll just sit and read this at some point. It's just so that I have a book that if somebody's like, I want a kid's graphic novel for like a teenager, I've got a recommendation that I've read that isn't Heartstopper, because everyone knows Heartstopper. So I thought I'd pick up this just to give this one a go and see what this one is about. And obviously I got it from my library because I'm going to be using my library so much more with books that I'm like, I don't know how I feel about them kind of vibe. Then these are the next 4 books that I'm actually going to be reading. So the first one is Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zane. This is the book of the month, one of the books of the month for Waterstones this month, so I probably should read this so I have a clue of what's going on. My colleague was like, you need to read this, this is amazing. I recommended it to everyone when it was in hardback to buy, so obviously you need to read this, and it's apparently very similar vibes to Ready Player One, so very intrigued. And this is actually bonus content 1, which is what that sticker is, but the sticker actually matches the vibe of the book. Even though it's removable, it matches the vibe of the book, so I'm not mad at it. But this I'm very excited by. I'm excited to read it. I'm also nervous, like with me being in a slump, I'm like, am I going to enjoy it? But you know. Then I've got Business or Pleasure, and this is by Rachel Lee Simone. This is one of the tandem reading books of July, which I'm going to be the VIP for, so I'm going to be doing like reading vlogs and things like that for the books. I'm going to do, I think I'm reading this one as like an extra, and the other one is a Monica Murphy book, so I'm going to be reading that series out of order. But it's fine because they're all standalones, just interconnected slightly in the fact that they're all at Lancaster Prep. But I thought I'd pick this one up when it was double points, so I'm very excited to read this. And it just, I don't really know what it's about. I just like the name of it and I like the cover, so I thought I'd pick it up. But I will be reading that this month, because last month I was supposed to read 3 books because I owned them all and I didn't. So I need to be on top of my game for this month, and I need to create content for them. Then I kind of read this when I was doing my haul, and I was like, actually I really want to read this because it's a mafia book. and it is The Kiss Thief by LJ Shen. This has been traditionally published just recently. I love LJ Shen's Vicious, so I know for a fact I'm gonna love this book, and it's just a short little read, under 200 pages. I think it's around 300 pages long, so simple, easy read just for me to read. That won't take me that long, so I had to pick up this one. And then the final book, obviously Reckless by Elsie Silver. Everyone and their mum has been reading this in June since it got released, and I was like, I need to read this, I need to read it, I need to read it. I never did, I never got around to it, so it's in this month to read. It's gonna be, I leave all my books here that I'm going to be reading in the month, so this will be on that pile because I need to read it, and I will read it, so it's going to be there. We're going to read it this month. So yeah, there are the books that I want to read this month, and at the end of next month you will find out if I did read them or I didn't, so I'll let you guys know. But yeah, I hope you did like this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what books you are reading this month and how many books you want to read, if there's a goal. Obviously I'm just putting these books on because I kind of like so excited to read them, but if I don't read them then it's fine. At the end of the day, what's the most important thing? The fact that we are reading, so that's all that matters. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and welcome to the channel of book lovers, F1 lovers, and just lifestyle in general. I've just finished university. I'm going to be graduating on Monday, so you'll be welcomed into a life of what the hell's going on, and I might start doing some vlogs specifically for me trying to get into freelance work and that aspect of graphic design, and trying to work my way through it. Because I've got some fun things planned. I've got so much going on in my brain, which is why I've taken a break from this. But I was in the mood to film, and I'm in the mood to edit today, so that's why you're getting this. So I hope you did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time in my next video. I usually post on a Sunday at Sunday at 2 p.m, but I now work till 4:30, so it's gonna be 5 p.m. on a Sunday instead, because then I can actually post it and comment with you guys. And a Tuesday at 5 p.m. usually, but until I'm on top of my thing again, it's just gonna be 1 day a week, unfortunately. But I hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time in my next video.